Well, after a truly thrilling end to the Lord's Test, Ashes fever is once again gripping the nation, and Codemasters will be hoping the same applies to the game, with Ashes Cricket 2009 due for release early next month. And we're here at the Oval, which will be hosting the final test in the series, to check the game out and stoke up a bit of the old rivalry by talking to two people from cricket's A-list. One, the greatest bowler in history; the other guy, someone who ain't half bad with one of these.
Three tests in and England hold a priceless 1-0 lead against the old enemy in the 2009 Ashes. The scent of victory is in the air with 2 matches remaining. Not a bad time then to release the official game of one of the great contests in world sport, with Ashes Cricket 2009 padding up this Friday, the very same day our boys and the Aussies take to the field at Headingley. But when we meet KP, the day after England's Lord's heroics, the star batsman's ankle is already in a bad way.
And it's not great. I think everybody sees that it's not fantastic. It's had all the treatment it can have. It's had all the injections, and my back's had injections.
Ah, you'll be fine, mate. Have a go on the Wii for us. 24 hours later, don't blame Eurogamer. It's a massive blow for England, but is it a killer one?
I think you still can. If you lost Flintoff, I think the way Flintoff's bowling at the moment, you can't afford to lose his bowling.
And Shane Warne is a man who knows a thing or two about that. In 1993, he bowled what became known as the ball of the century to a clueless Mike Gatting. Now retired, having regained the Ashes for the Aussies on home soil, Warne has turned to punditry, lending his expertise to the commentary box both during the real series and in the game.
Yeah, I like to think it's an expertise of my experience of playing for a long period of time. I think what the games came up with, the graphics are amazing. I think the commentary is outstanding. But what you can actually do, you can spin, you can swing it, you can actually shine your remote control, it can give you extra swing, extra spin, and you can be anyone you want to be on your favourite players. So I think it's a pretty good game.
Yeah, video games definitely didn't come anywhere near our household. Fortunate enough, I was growing up where the weather's fantastic. The weather's really good 12 months of the year, so lucky there. I can understand it here. I see there's a huge market for it in the countries which are not as warm as the southern hemisphere. All the guys play a lot of games, especially when you tour the subcontinent, the Indias, the Pakistans of the world, the Sri Lankas of the world, where there's not a lot to do after close of play.
But while KP's youth was spent in the relentless pursuit of disgracefully healthy outdoor stuff, the world's greatest spin bowler preferred the video gamer's diet of pie, fags and beer. So it's no surprise to find he's also a gamer.
All the time. I've got kids. My boy who's 10, Jackson, we often play lots of different games, whether it's 10-pin bowling on Wii or Super Smash Brothers or Mario Kart. Moo Moo Farm's my favourite track on that, by the way, and I'm pretty unbeatable on that track. But it's nice now that cricket can be thrown in the mix and give an option for one of these kids to actually have these games, as well as these super cool games that the kids have got. To have cricket in there now too is, I think, really exciting.
And do you have a favourite pie, Shane?
No, not really. As long as it's not too hot, it's okay.
Meat or veg?
Meat.
In the game, all the kits, players and stadia are present and correct, as you'd expect. Although we wouldn't like to be the guy who designed KP's avatar.
I think there's a bit of work to do on the Wii form for sure. I need to grow my hair now. My hair's a little bit longer.
And KP isn't the only one with a bone to pick. As Eurogamer TV revealed previously, teammate Paul Collingwood apparently thought his rug was a bit heavy on the rouge.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Looks very ginger in the game.
I'm not asking that. I'm not talking about that.
I heard that this morning. I've subsequently texted him to find out, and he said it's a load of nonsense. But I agree, he should be a lot more ginger than what he is on that.
Of course, if either KP or Collie needs hair advice, they know who to turn to.
Imagine how good you'd feel if you never had to worry about hair loss again.
I'm not sure. I've got pretty thick hair, so I've got a couple of my brothers who are thinning a bit. Hopefully I don't go that route.
Sledging, the practice of slagging off the opposition to gain an advantage, is all part of the Ashes experience. Former Aussie captain Steve Waugh called it mental disintegration. Nice. And Peterson and Warne are expert practitioners.
Sledging is actually it's meant to be fun. It's a bit of gamesmanship. It's not about getting personal about anything like that. And I think the best sledges are always something quite funny. calling Ian Bell a Shermanator to me is a bit of fun. If it upsets him, that's fantastic, but I don't think it'll have anything to do with it, just my opinion.
Anyone who's been on Xbox Live will know all about mental disintegration. So, Ashes Cricket 2009 Online is well placed to breed a new generation of ferocious sledgers. Any tips on what we should say to wind up the Aussies, Kevin?
I'm not sure. Convicts is probably somewhere that ranks pretty highly.
Peterson, of course, lost the captaincy in dramatic circumstances earlier this year. Will he lead England again?
I think it's unfair for me to talk about captaincy, especially when Strauss is doing such a good job, so we'll leave captaincy.
Yeah, I think he's got a good, he loves the game of cricket. He thinks about the game of cricket all the time, KP, so you know, hopefully he'll get that opportunity. Strauss seems to be doing an okay job. I think Andrew Strauss would be best as vice-captain. He's sort of a consistent person. He's sort of the same all the time. So I think Andrew Strauss could grow into the job. But if it doesn't work out, then hopefully KP will come in at some stage down the track.
Right, money where your mouth is time, chaps. Who's going to win the series?
My prediction was whoever played the best cricket over 25 days will win the Ashes, and I stick by that.
I don't know, have a prediction. I think Australia's best cricket is still good enough to win the series. But whether they can play their best cricket or England allow them to play that remains to be seen. At the moment, England aren't letting Australia play their best cricket, and that's why they're winning 1-0.
Ashes Cricket 2009 is out on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PC and Wii this Friday. Our in-depth hands-on impressions can be yours with a click of the red button. Are you sure you're not a gamer, Kevin?
Oh, it's too easy. He's a natural.